We live, innit?
Yeah, and you just put it on the screen.
Can't.
So that we know. I think it should be live now, though.
It should be. Let me check it through here, innit? As well.
That's why I'll just chuck it on screen.
Okay.
Shalom?
Shalom.
Yeah, we good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Hey, ready up?
Yeah.
Hey, Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rakah, Kodash. You know, double honors to our apostles and the elders of Great Millstone.
Double honors.
And Shalom to the Akim that are teaching this word.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom. Hey, yeah, you know, probably just going to just do an open forum, man. But we're pretty much at the end of this man's society, man, with what's pretty much happening in the world right now. All right, we're pretty much at the end of this man's age. When we say this man, we're talking about Esau. You know, with what's going on, man. Look, the Lord set off Judah, man, ignited Judah. It's exciting times. You know, the tribe of Judah is ignited with, you know, the death of George Floyd, whether they set it up or not. With the Edomite cop killing the Jake, whether it was set up or not. The Most High set it's all for it's all for a purpose, man. So the Most High is set this thing off, man. Go on, and they're protesting over here in London. They're protesting over there in Greece. You know, the whole world has been affected by this, man, which is the spirit, because the Lord said that Judah, he's going to raise Judah up in the last days, which is going to ignite the rest of the tribes, man. And Judah set the world alight, man. Go on, huh?
This is Zechariah 12:7. The Lord, Yahweh, also shall save the tents of Judah first. Mm-hmm. Rather, the glory of the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah.
Yeah, that's right, man. Because the Lord said, basically, man, the tribes, Judah's like the most hated. You know, like for over the years, Judah's been, which is a so-called Negro in America, has been the most discriminated against out of all the Israelites. All right, and it's funny because which the Israelites are, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and it's funny because Judah has been catching a lot of hell over there in America for the longest. You see. But and the other tribes, you know, like with the division of the tribes, Ephraim, you know, the Spanish-speaking tribes, the division of the tribes, you know, Judah has been even catching hell from them, you know, back and forth and whatnot. But now, what's happened is what the Lord said he deals with Judah first, man. So he's magnifying the tents of Judah first now, and all the tribes are clicking into gear with Judah, man.
I've got a precept for you.
Let's go back to what that said as well. Because hey, Judah is setting it off, man. Because really, even when before Judah sets the trend for the planet Earth, man. The so-called Negro, everyone follows him on the planet Earth, whether he's doing negative or he's doing good. Everyone follows him. And now with this riot, man, this Esau just awoken a sleeping giant, man. Mm-hmm. But that was the Lord that is setting this all up.
That's right.
So it's even more is gonna happen, man. Go on,
but back to Zechariah 12:7 says, Yahweh also shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah.
Yeah, because Judah's the head tribe, man. So they're getting risen up. They've been risen up. They're getting risen up first, man. You see? And everyone else falls in line with them, man. All the other tribes, the Ephraim's the head of the northern kingdom. Judah's the head of the southern kingdom. But Judah's overall the head of all the tribes. When he sets it off, Ephraim links up, everyone comes together, and that's happening, man. Negroes and Hispanics are linking up, man. You know, hey, but it's already happened with the Akim because the brothers are from all the tribes. The brothers of the hopeful elect are from all the tribes. But now the Most High is putting it on 2/3 to start sticking it on Esau, man. And that's what's going on here. Everyone's waking up to Esau, and the tribes are linking up. This has set the world alight, man. Go on, huh?
This is Genesis 49:9. Judah is a lion's whelp. For the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up?
Yeah, go.
Yeah, and that's the question. And this is the thing. This has been brewing. This is something that's been brewing all throughout. And just like with the coronavirus, when everyone was paying attention to Iran, the coronavirus was brewing in the background, and then bam, it was the forefront. And then just like, you know, because this whole race thing that's been brewing in this period of time as well. You go back to Harry and Meghan, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of Jake, they were like, hey, you know what, fuck these roles, whatever, what have you. Megan, what, good up, big up, a Harry or whatever, what have you. But that's because he was, dealing with his Jake chick or whatever. And they were basically saying, fuck the royal family. And people were looking at that as an, okay, cool. It was getting racial from then. Then after that, he had Ahmed Aubrey.
Yeah.
Right? And then at that one, Jake was like, nah, fuck this. We need to tool up. Fuck this this marching shit. And then finally, what was the thing that tipped?
The straw
that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
Was this
George Floyd?
George Floyd. So all throughout this year, this whole race thing, and Jake was brothers in the truth was watching what's going on and being like, yo, who shall rouse them up? Who shall rouse them up? Basically, who's gonna make Judah stand up?
Yeah.
Because right now, Judah, they was kind of like, yeah, man, it was bad, he's racist, but that's that.
We can work it out.
We can work out, let's go protest, all of that, peaceful protest. But Jay, the scripture's saying, look, who's gonna be like, make Jay go, nah, fuck this.
Yeah, rouse him up. Because you know what, it all boils down to Jacob and Esau, and now Jake, beginning with the so-called Negro, they're starting to see that, hey, these so-called white people, they hate us.
Yeah.
They hate us, man. So now we've got to hate them back. Well, because Jake is like the scriptures talk about Jake being a plain man dwelling in tents, just chilled with it, man. Yeah. Esau's got that, but Esau, and it describes Esau being a cunning hunter, meaning that this man, he's always on the prowl for blood. But now it's got to the point where you push Jake so much into the wall that now Jake are just unleashing on you. Now you just awoken a beast, man. Now he's gonna have to deal with crazy ass 2/3 now, man. And they're gonna looking Edom. They're not gonna be thinking spiritual about it. Anyone that looks like an Edomite, they're gonna be going on sight for them, man. This is what it's coming to. It's gonna be a full blown division between Jacob and Esau, man.
Yeah.
You see, but the Lord he's woke up Judah, like he said. I'm gonna ignite I'm gonna set the tents of Judah up, and then the Most High said, who's gonna rouse up Judah, man? He's a couch down lion. But Judah, the so-called Negro, is really the man of the planet. Like people are really scared of Jakes, man. The heathens are scared of Jakes, man. But Jake's been in that couch down situation right now. But the Most High, now he's just awoken a sleeping giant, man. Now the whole planet is ignited because of this Judite man, which is the spirit, man. This Judite man.
Yeah.
Go on, now.
Okay, yeah, that was on those two.
I got something. Yeah, I got something. This is Micah 5:8. It says, and the remnant of, and this is all because the prophecy has to come to pass, man. So we're teaching his word, and the Lord's making it fulfilled, man. See, these people, the majority of our Jake's out there, all right, 2/3, they don't understand why they're even doing all this. But they understand. One thing they do know that's happening now is that it's evident who your enemy is. That's being more evident. That is the so-called white man's your natural born enemy.
This is the beginning of that, because they're still protesting out there with Edomites. They think it's the Republican or the conservative Edomite that's their enemy, the right-wing Edomite. But look,
it's all of them
is your enemy.
Yeah, all of them.
Right, and like you were saying, they ain't got the spiritual eye to be able to determine, okay, no, that's actually my brother. He just looks like the enemy, or whatever. Which is why this truth is so important for you to be able to see, to be able to look and observe. Actually, that's the enemy. That's not the enemy. Right, which is why brothers ain't out there protesting. Well, what protest? What, so that we can continue on in this society?
But we loving this because this is signs of the Lord's return, man.
Yeah.
The uproars of the people, rioting, race rioting. This is part of the prophecies, man. So that's why we love this, because this is lining up with what the Most High said is going to happen. This has to happen, Yeah. But we brothers, we don't participate in it. We do social commentary.
Yeah.
We socially commentate on these things, man, like through the scriptures. Yeah. I've got something here. Yeah? This is Micah 5:7. It says, and the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles in the midst of many people, as a lion among the beasts of the forest, as a young lion among the flocks of sheep, who if he go through, both treadeth down and teareth in pieces, and none can deliver. Do you want to?
You can go on it.
Hey, and that's talking about, that's really talking about the elect, innit? The hopeful elect getting risen up, and getting power over the nations, But the Lord is putting the spirit on Jake to just run through Elamite shops over there in Babylon right now as well, man. He's putting the spirit on them to just cause chaos out there, man. That's happening, man. You see? And it says here, what does it say about Jacob, man? It says that, he says, in the midst of the Gentiles, all right, which is the other nations, as a lion among the beasts of the forest. And Jakes are the lions, man. And it's happening where it just so happens now where now with Jake ignited, the heathens are scared, man.
Mm-hmm.
This one little thing ignited Jakes, and the heathens are shook to death, man, because it's in the spirits. It says it's in the scriptures, man. It says, as a young lion among the beasts of the forest, it says, as a young lion among the flocks of the sheep, if you go through, both treadeth down and teareth in pieces, and none can deliver. So when a young lion is risen up, man, and a young lion will tear up a sheep, man.
Ain't no stopping it. No.
Yeah.
This says who shall deliver from it.
Yeah, because Jake has been the prey for these other nations for the longest, because they haven't been awoken to the fact that, these people are your enemy, the so-called white man being number one. They're against you. But guess what? Now the Most High has put in the spirit. He's reignited Jake, man, as that young lion. Now they're going to just cause mayhem out here, man. The 2/3, they're going to cause mayhem out here, man. It's only going to get worse. You see the protests in America, it's going to get worse, man. Where they've got the military out there, man. So there's
martial law.
Soon it's going to be nothing where they show you in the media, you're just going to be seeing like dead bodies everywhere, man.
Yeah.
And Jake, before America's destroyed, right? Before Babylon's destroyed, the Lord is going to let 2/3 get a piece of Esau, man, before it's destroyed.
That's it.
And because Jake, the 2/3 and Esau, only the elect is going to be saved. The brothers, the brothers that hopefully going to be delivered, man.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of you people there, Esau and the other nations, they're going to die over there. But the Lord's going to allow 2/3 to get vicious with Esau over there. To get a little payback before they even get him in the kingdom, man.
Yeah. So 2 Ezra 9:1, it says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I've told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
Yeah.
Right. So what says measure thou the time diligently, right? So what's our measuring stick, right? If I was to say to you, measure that piece of paper, you need a ruler. This is our rulers. The scriptures is our rulers, right? So we've got all of these different prophecies. Well, okay, that's happened. Okay, cool. We're that far. That's happened. Okay, cool. We're that far. And all we're seeing today, as we're saying, whether it's with the COVID, whether it's real or imagined, with this, whether it's set up or real or whatever, right? It's another one of those prophecies being tipped off. Right, you got the whole world. Like you were saying earlier on, even up to Japan.
Japan, yeah. Oh man, they're protesting in Japan.
Yeah, no.
They're protesting in Japan. It's all over the world.
All over the world. Even in Syria. Putting a mural up. And they haven't even got a full wall to put the mural up. Had like a bit of a broken wall. And
in Syria.
In Syria, man.
Right? So in Japan, Syria, Greece.
Yeah.
Greece, they went and all these places, where they're going? To the US embassy.
Yeah.
Over there, because Japan's got, I don't know when it was Greece that went to the US embassy.
Yeah.
And you had the Greek people burning the flag, man.
Yeah.
And
Ireland's planning to go to the US embassy as well, the Irish protest.
Wow.
The British one here was at the US embassy.
US embassy, yeah.
You even had one of the people in the Chinese government said something about it.
About the US.
Yeah, about the US, and not allowing peaceful protests and racism, which is fucking ironic.
They do this, but they've got to throw shots at the US.
Shots and run through some shade.
You're right. Yeah, well. They all got to do that.
Stop hurting your
citizens,
man. So the whole world's eyes are on this event. Right, so we're looking at that and we're saying, okay, cool, we're coming closer and closer to the time, right?
Mm-hmm. And they're burning American flags, man. Like now, you'd say the people in Greece burning American flags. They'll say, "Damn, that's Edomites burning their brethren." But a lot of them could be Jakes anyway, protesting. All these other nations among them protesting, could just be straight up Jakes, man.
Mm-hmm.
But nonetheless, the point is they're going against America, man. They're going to the US embassies like, look, what the fuck you doing, man? They're straight up killing people, which they all knew that what they were doing to Jake over there anyway. But they're straight up killing him on live TV. This has touched a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
This has touched the planet, man. Which is all lines up with the word anyway, because that's Judah's got to get risen up.
Yeah.
Spirit, man.
It says, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same. So basically, say, look, when these processes are coming to pass, then you're going to be like, because brothers have seen them, told a guy, look, use the thing, I ain't down with that. It's like, okay, cool. But you might have told him a few prophecies of things to come, didn't happen. And then COVID happened, and a load of brothers got hit up. Well, hey, man, yeah, it's what he was talking about, isn't it? This is what he was talking about. And this is happening. Right. So, but for us, we're like, okay, cool. We're understanding that, this is the year of prophecy.
So,
our Lord is coming back. Right.
Hey, since January, man, look what's happened, man. Since January, what are we in June now?
June now. It's half a year.
So what the hell's happened? Non-stop action, according to the Bible, man. Non-stop. They blew up the main man.
Before that, we came into the year, Australia was on fire.
But the massive bushfires.
Yeah, the massive, unprecedented bushfires like that.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. They blew up the Iranian man.
Yep.
They've been going in this year. They blew up the Iranians, basically the Mike Pence of Iran.
Yep.
They blew him up. You think them Iranians ain't? These things have been building up because now we're at the time where Babylon is going down, man.
Yep.
And they, brothers I saw something on the feed earlier, and brother had a video up, right? And it showed the American flag ripped apart. It's like the largest American flag, in America. I think it's on a massive flagpole, right? And it was ripped in half, by the powers of the wind, which is like that's an omen, man. That's an omen that this place is going down, man. Like,
Yeah.
And it's all this. Listen, there's what has happened over there in America, man. Like, all that land was built upon oppression, man. Right? That America was formed on the oppression of the indigenous people, man. So-called Native Americans first. Mexican, Indioso brothers, man. And then you brought the so-called Negro in shackles over there, man. So that land was formed on slavery, man. So now karma, it's the Lord is bad, man. He'll let you have your little time to reign. This is to the so-called white man, to Esau. Then he'll just bring it on you, man. And these devils, they're just the devil, but they understand why this is all happening. They know this is karma, man. For all the shit that they've done, man.
Well, the thing is, they might even be thinking that they're the ones setting it up, not realizing really it's the Most High playing them.
Yeah, man. It's coming, man. Because what's a big thing in this world as well? We're going to get into that. A big thing they say is, what do they say, man? White privilege. Well, what the hell? Where the hell did that white privilege form from? Edomite privilege. It formed from the backs of your ancestors enslaving the planet, man. Yeah. So now that is coming back upon you now. Yeah, and the Lord's bringing this all back to remembrance now, man.
It's good, man. Use your blessing, because right now is the time for your blessing, man. So use that privilege. Use it. That was given to you. He was given the fatness of the earth.
It's your time.
It's your time. But look, man, it's our time next. The scripture says, 2 Ezra 6:9, for Esau was the end of the world. Right? And Jacob is the beginning of it that followed. Right. So you're gonna fall, and then Israel's gonna rise. And then now it's time for our blessing, our eternal blessing. Right? Yep. You're going to get something? I've got more on this.
No, go on. I keep reading that.
This is 2 Ezra 9:3 says, therefore, right, when thou shalt be seen earthquakes, there was a magnitude 5 or 5 point something over there in California today or yesterday. Right? It says an uproars of the people in the world. And that's what you're seeing all over the world. All over the world. Right? You're having people going out and protesting and whatever, what have you. Right, on this is what it's fun because Esau's usually the one going into other people's countries and setting off, a color revolutions. Right, but these things are happening on his doorstep. Whether he's the one controlling it, he might think he's the one controlling it, but ultimately it's the Most High.
It's the Most High, and it's funny because people are protesting, right, and rioting, and government is so, like in Britain, they started protesting, throwing things around and all that type of stuff over here in London, right, but then. In the midst of that, you still got Boris and them still holding court in Parliament and that outside of that happening. This is like the movies you see when the government's so-called still running, but then their society's falling apart around them. That's what's going on here, man. You see, so now eventually what they're gonna do is they're gonna have to implement the martial law, the mark of the beast, man. Yeah. Because this is gonna get out of hand here, man. Well, it's going to get crazy pretty much. It already is like that over there in America, but it's going to be worse, man. It's going to get wild, man. Go on, huh?
Yeah. Says then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of these things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning.
Yeah, so the Most High spake of these things from the days that, meaning it was prophesied, man. It was these things have been spoken about like throughout the word, all right?
Mhm.
What's happening now? You know, there's prophecies in the Old Testament that are waiting to come to pass, man.
That's it.
And it's happening now.
Mhm.
So the Lord, everything is the Most High. It's the Lord's movie. We're just happy that we've got the inside scoop, you know?
Yeah.
That's what's going on. So everything that's happening is all lining up with what it's been spoken about, and we've been prophesying about it, you know, and now it's happening, man.
Well, you had that series, the Game of Thrones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Game of Thrones, and then before each season, before the next episode, you had a load of people putting up their theories and being like, "Oh, okay, cool, this is gonna happen because of X, Y, Z." That's really what what we've been given, because this is a Game of Thrones.
It is,
right, which is why we don't care that the people of King's Landing are going out there and doing craziness. Let them. What Game of Thrones followed who? It followed the heads of the house, right? So this is and who are the two main characters? The heads of the house of Jacob and the heads of the house of Esau. Obviously, you know, you've got the Mosai and Yahushua at the very top above all of that, right? But just on that level, right? And we've been given the understanding of, okay, cool, this is what's going to happen in the future episode, right? And that's what's going to happen at the very end, right? It's like at the very end, don't worry, you're going to win.
It's a battle for the kingdom, which is the earth, you know? And right now it's in the hands of these E's, man. But these the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, you know? But guess what? The Lord said all these things, we're still in that.
We can get you.
Okay, yeah, and it's them uproars, wars, rumors of wars, uproars of the people. This is a sign that this man is surely on his way out, man.
Way out, that's it.
It's a sign that he's surely on his way out. This is Ecclesiastes 7 and 8. It says, "Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit." You know, you want.
Yeah, I can go. It's better as the end of the thing, man, right, than the beginning. Because this is the end of our captivity, man, right? This is the end of our captivity. But what's to come next is what do you call it? Is the beginning of something that's everlasting. It ain't gonna have an end, right? It's gonna be everlasting, man. It's gonna be the kingdom of Israel forever. You know, unlike this man's kingdom, he's been given reign over the earth, on the basis of men. And what's he done? He's destroyed. He was watching that History 101 on Netflix, man, on the episode of nuclear power, where this guy who was just chucking the nuclear waste into the oceans, man.
Yeah, barrels of it, man.
Barrels of it, just
from. And that footage, brother, was showing. That was like from the 70s,
yeah.
And they were showing boats in the sea just throwing barrels of nuclear waste into the sea.
Yeah. And then you had Greenpeace, they're all protesting.
Activists, yeah.
And what were they saying? They were saying, but this is going to leak out, and then it's going to go into the fish, and then we're going to eat the fish.
We're going to consume. But how, from then till now, how much of that have we consumed?
Exactly. And then they were saying, I forgot what period it was, but this is still like back to the 80s or whatever. By that time, they had done like 300 weapons drop, nuclear weapon tests, man. Right, so you got all of that all throughout the atmosphere, man. Right, that's why people are sick. That's why the scripture says, and destroyeth him that destroyeth the earth, man.
Yeah, Revelation.
Right? And that ultimately it starts off with Esau, but that goes to all these heathen nations. Because what did we watch as well? The fact that you have these these Ammonites, they're big on that nuclear technology, man. Right, and then guess what happened to them? Fukushima, man. Right, you have a whole patch of land, no one can live there.
Yeah, exactly. That's right, man. Or you have Chernobyl.
Yeah, Chernobyl.
Babies are born with 6 arms, man. Babies are born with 6 arms, and you know, cancer rates are high. As soon as you're born, you get cancer, man. You know, because all that nuclear waste just went into the city. You know. Anyway, but that's this man for you. But the Most High was making him do this over the time. Why? Because the creation of the nuclear weapon and stuff had to be used in the end anyway. So the Most High has made them just keep creating these weapons of mass destruction, right? To fucking destroy each other in the end, man. To end this world, this system with fire, man.
That's it.
You know, so there was, I've done it with that one, yeah? Done with that one, yeah? Yeah, better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. That was it, man. Hey, go on. You got something up?
Yeah, me.
Better is the
read what the bro posted. Shalom. Yeah, but
Shalom. Better is the end of a thing, man, than the beginning thereof.
Yep.
We at the end of this.
In the comment board as well.
Shalom, Akian.
This is Jeremiah 49:10. But I've made Esau better. And that's it. Esau's crimes are being spoken about, man. Right, yeah. which is why these Edomites, they be getting on the side of Jake and it's not more privilege, and they go out and protest in the hope that they don't get scoped, right? In the hope that people don't look at them, man. Right, but it's all these Edomites, and that's the key thing, man. It ain't Esau has this. We should speak about this man's wine, his philosophies, right? Right, and what does it say in Revelation? It says the two horns. Right, but the two horns are connected to the same beast, right? Whether it's a Republican Edomite or a Democrat Edomite, they both hate you, man, right? And so more and more Esau's witchcraft's going to be exposed, man, right? It says, "I've uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, right? And his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not," right? Or suppose Habakkuk 2:3, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time," right? So these prophecies have to come to pass when they're meant to come to pass. They can't come before or after, right? That's why the scriptures all saying that Sirach 2:14, woe unto you that lose patience, right? So if you lose patience, man, you're gonna fall out and then you're gonna be destroyed. Right, you might have there were people that fell out over the new moon just not too long ago during this whole coronavirus thing, right? But here it is, the finish line is at the is almost in sight, man. Mm-hmm. Right? So we just have to wait for all of these all of these prophecies to be fulfilled, because Yahweh Hashem Yahshua forbid, right? If the Most High just cools everything down right now, we've got to be willing to carry on teaching for however long. Yep. Right. Because that's the thing, we teach until we can't teach no more. Because we can't force the hand of the Most High. What did Peter say? What Yahushua say to Peter? Right, get thee behind me, Satan, man. Why? Because Peter was trying to force the hand of the Most High. No, it ain't gonna happen. Look, the Most High gonna do what the Most High gonna do. Yeah. So it says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak." Right, and not lie. Right, so these things must needs come to pass. Right, mm-hmm. It says, "Though it tarry, wait for it." And that was even that it was going into exposing Esau, yeah. And he was talking about it. It's funny because I was watching the news earlier. You had Esau can't get away from this. Like all of the dirt he's done, it keeps coming back up now. And why is this race issue, right, between the so-called black man and the so-called white man, right? Why has that never disappeared? Because they haven't paid for that yet. So it's always going to come to the surface, man. So even now you had all these celebrities now. You just had Spike Lee. He was on the BBC News talking about slavery, man, how America was built. Which we know that anyway. Them celebrities, they watch the brothers, man, right? But look, it said Spike Lee. He said America was founded on the slavery of the robbing of the natives, and then you enslaved the so-called black man. So he said it was built on a rocky foundation anyway. So he said it was built on a rocky foundation, and then you can't expect it not to basically fall in the end. That's what he said. So now that's Obadiah, man. Esau is being exposed. His dirt just keeps being thrown back at him, man. You can't get away from this, man. But you see, the Spirit's gonna have it where, and he was talking to a Edomite correspondent or whatever. But what's gonna happen is anywhere Esau goes, it doesn't matter whether he's a fucking be a fucking news correspondent, whatever, they're all just going to be starting to get targeted, man. All of them. There's going to be nowhere they can run and hide, man. And the next important thing to note as well is right now, like, the BBC's like, "Oh, America's so terrible." Look, man, y'all are the same devil, man. Scripture says, "The eighth shall come from with seventh. The eighth is of the seventh," roughly paraphrasing, basically speaking on the fact that America is of England, is of that seventh, that seventh. I'm trying to remember the exact wording. I believe it's seventh beast or whatever. Basically, the America came out of England, right? These are the same devils. Those Australians might be like, "Yeah, man, those worst Australian accent ever.
Yeah.
But
Good day, matey.
Good day,
Kangaroo.
and all that.
Good day,
you know.
matey. Foster's
might-
beer.
You know, they might be trying to make it out like the American devils, but you're just as bad. All of
Oh,
them.
you know what proves that as well, what you said? Because when you watch the film Django, yeah, and there's a scene in Django when it's Quentin Tarantino and Jamie Foxx. It's when they're taking him back to the plantation or whatever. And guess what? You got an Australian slave owner there too in America. And he goes to him, you're kind of all right for a blackie, he says to Jamie Foxx. Remember that? So that proves what you're just saying. They're just Australians benefited off of the slavery of Israel.
Yeah.
Australians, which they're Australian peoples that today, they're Edomites. They're so-called white people, man. They're the same brothers of the British, the Americans, the Spanish. They're all the same people, man.
All the same people. Hey, one of the things I didn't know was, once again, watching that History 101 on Netflix, right, Manhattan Project, right, the one that made the weapon, that they dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The British and the French had funding. I know the British had put funding. I forgot whether it was the French. No, it would have been the French. British and the French helped fund that. What was you watching yesterday about oil? Run the episode on oil. What were they going into there? The fact that the British ran basically
carved up
the British Arabia. And the other ones, they carved up Arabia, man.
French as well.
British and the French. I thought I was forgetting which country. The British and the French carved up Arabia, and they just said, "Look, we going to take this bit, we're going to take that bit."
And that was after World War One.
Yeah.
Because prior to that, prior to them getting that power over there, because that was when the British Empire was massive. You know, it was getting a lot of power. But after World War One, who did they take down to even gain control of those lands? The Ottoman Empire. Because the Ottoman Empire was coming to its end, which the Ottoman Empire is nothing but they're so-called white men too, from Turkish so-called white men. And they had the control of the Middle East and all that. And then guess what? They got taken out of rulership, out of their, power, so to speak, which they're still in power. It's the same people, but the British and the French, this side of the world started gaining the control. Yeah, that was what happened, man.
Oh, so came across.
They carved that place up, and that's what these devils do, man.
Yeah.
See, these Edomites, they think that this so-called white man, he thinks that he's never going down. If anyone's gonna rule, it's just gonna be another sect of us ruling again. Yeah. They're fucking demons, man. They don't think they're going down. Well, you're at your time, man.
Time, that's it. I was going to say I also came across some information as well on this, because this whole thing about Jake looting, right? And it was basically the word loot, right? It's a noun, right? That says goods taken from an enemy, etc. 1839 Anglo-Indian, right? Anglo-Indian. Why? Because basically the way it was phrased, right? You got to ask yourself, why Anglo-Indian, right? Because it came from these bloody Brits going over there and taking stuff from their land, man, out of India, man. Just going there. And there's which got an article on Al Jazeera, which basically said England looted the equivalent of $49 trillion worth from that land of India, man.
Yeah.
And then it's literally from the Hindi lut. Right, so
that's where the word comes from.
That's where the word comes from. So here it is. They're saying, "Are you niggas, you looting this, that, and the other?" No, the word literally comes from you looting another country.
Yeah, but listen, man, you devils taught Jake had to. Well,
the year of your father, the devil.
Yeah, that you called the racial term for Jake in this world is what, niggers and whatnot. Yeah. Well, that's all what do you call it? A form. Esau formed that. Like a nigger is a creation of an Edomite. Because when they enslaved Israel, you enslaved our minds. You taught us a new way of life. You taught us your way of life to be a beast. So that's what you just unleashed, man. That's what you're gonna have to deal with now. And all that stealing and that's how you devils got everything, man. You looted the planet, man.
I got
so now America's being spoiled. The Lord said that Judah shall be a terror in Egypt, man, and that Judah they're gonna spoil the. We're gonna get the power eventually, but the Lord set the spirit on the tribes to just tear apart America, man.
Yeah. While we watch with our popcorn.
Well, exactly. So how the hell would
you?
Yeah. So they looted everything, man. You fucking thieves, man.
So John 10:10, the thief cometh not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life and that they have it more abundantly. Right. So you're the real thief on the earth, the so-called white man, and just ask all the nations, man. And this is the thing. It's right now Esau wants to put the attention, make it seem like it's just the American, not even the American Edomite, the American conservative Republican. No, it's the American Edomites, the English Edomites, the French Edomite. Hey, Haiti finished paying back France for slavery. Haiti paid France back for slavery. What in this millennium? I forget what year it was roughly. That's what they say. Right, but even still, Haiti are the ones who paid them back.
Bro, this man's got a tab. The scriptures talk about his tab going to the heavens.
I can get that.
Let's get it. Let's get
Revelation.
Because his tab is in the heavens, man, where the Lord has to come from the throne to deal with this man.
Yeah.
Because we ain't got no might, man. All right. But in the media, see, we ain't got no might, man. We're waiting for Yahweh Shai, man. Yeah. In the media, they put the Israelites as the boogeyman. For all these years, Mexican rapists, Negro thieves, for all these years. But now, you know what's coming out now is that with all this social media as well, all these Jakes are recording Edomites starting all these riots and all that, man. Spraying up Black Lives Matters and all that. Edomites, paid off to do it or whatever. But they're showing you that Esau's the fucking devil. That's coming out heavy, man. That this guy, hold on, you're starting all this. You know? And that's always been done throughout the years. Edomites will rape women but it will be put in the media that it was a Jake. The Jake gets the rap for it.
Yeah.
All that dirt is coming out, man. It's been coming out, but now is the time it's accumulated where you got to pay now.
So it says Revelation 18:5, for her sins have reached unto heaven, but the Most High hath remembered her iniquities.
Yep. And that's talking about Babylon the Great, man, which is America, right? Babylon, the great land of confusion, man, where the Israelites have been enslaved, that's the prison camp of the Israelites, man. But now the Lord said that her sins have reached to the heavens, man. That's why the whole planet Earth is in uproar and everyone is pointing the finger at America, man. Babylon, everyone's pointing the finger. Hold on a minute. Them other nations like Iran and that, they which they're against Jake anyway, but they use the fact that Jake's enslaved under the devils over there for their own propaganda. Yeah. But they always bring it up. How can you tell the rest of the world how to live when you've got Negroes in prisons over there? Majority of your Negro population, you've got them in prison. You pass laws that they can't never prosper and all that. You know, they throw their dirt at them.
Yeah. Hey, because that's why Esau's that's why where he fucked up with England, right? Because the difference with England is America's a big land, right? If you're in one school district, that's all you. That's as far as you can go. And those schools in that school district, guess what? They're gonna be shit, right? But in the Edomite school district, right in America, you're gonna have the good schools, this, and the other,
the good facilities.
But England's a lot different than that, right? You can, because you've still got the boundaries. I forgot the catchment areas, right? But because, for instance, London's so tiny, you can be in this part of town, a bad part of town, and then you can still manage to get into a good school, right? In still in your catchment area, because London is so tiny, you got bad areas. You know, you take a 10-minute bus ride, you're in a good area, right? Affluent area, even, right? Even I think Tower Hamlets, right? If I'm not mistaken, you got Chelsea in Tower Hamlets, right?
Is it fall on the Tower?
It's Tower Hamlets on the other side.
The east.
It's east, sorry. But it's in what you call the bar that Chelsea's in. Where was Grenfell?
Oh, Chelsea, West London.
Yeah. Grenfell, that was West London, and that
Hammersmith, and
now that was all full of Jake and immigrants, right? But guess what? Down the road is
affluent area.
Affluent area. One of the most expensive places to live in
devils England. That have their families go back to slavery, man. Slavery money.
What was something Park, man? I always forget his name.
Belize Park.
No, not not that one. The other one, to the south of it, where you get all them like 50, 60 million pound mansions, right? I remember you drive past it and you're in this really affluent part of town where you couldn't afford the house, and then you look up the road, you can see the carcass of Grenfell Tower.
Yeah, which you got to explain to the brothers what that is,
Well, Grenfell Tower, it was a tower block 2-3 years ago, right? Just burnt up. The facade, there's an outer casing of it burnt, caught on fire, right? And the official number is 72 people died, but people on the ground say otherwise. Like even there was a time we was actually just out on a stroll. It was in a chicken shop, and basically, it was just Jake's. Firefighter came in. We didn't know it was a firefighter at the time. And we were just talking to him this, that, and the other. I was like, "How you doing, man?" He's like, "Yeah, man." And he was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not a firefighter." I was like, "Oh shit!" So he's at Grenfell, and he started getting a bit emotional. I was like, "Yeah, I was at Grenfell. Man." And I was like, "How bad was it, man?" He just stopped and he looked. It was bad. So if
they killed people, it was a sacrifice, man. They burnt a whole block with just low income housing people. Jake's mingled with just burned it all down, man. And that was obviously, they burned it down because they obviously wanted to move the people out so they can do what the government can do what they want to do in there. Which ain't nothing new, man. But it just goes to show you this is an unjust world, man.
Holland Park, that's it. You boys can look up Holland Park, man. Or you look up Holland Park, just how affluent that area is, and up the road you have bloody tower blocks catching a light. Yeah, man.
See this England. See, England is like, they try to act like the devils over here in England. They try to act like they're not oppressing you. They're not oppressing Jakes and whatnot. In England they try and act like, no, we're liberal, we love everybody. These devils over here are some of the most underhanded, scummy motherfuckers, man. In Britain, man, in England, these devils over here. And their track record in history shows you that.
That's it. Hey, ask it East Indian, man.
Yeah.
The partition of India, man. 2 million dead from the partition of India. And who did that? You. Right?
You got a lot to pay for, man. Esau.
This is verse 6 of Revelation 18, right? It says, reward her even as she rewarded you. So revenge. People, Esau, whenever the topic of revenge comes, no, but you got to forgive and forget, right? Yeah. Whenever it comes to this, you got to forgive and forget, right? Which no one's really, are brave enough to say that out loud at the moment.
Yeah, well, like for all these years of oppression, bring up slavery, right? You always be told, just forget it, that was the past.
Yeah.
But now what's happening is that everyone's realizing that no, you have to rectify that.
Yeah.
That's why this fucking whole world is an uproar, because you got to rectify what happened. And how do you rectify? You've got to go down. You've got to be oppressed now.
Yeah.
You have to feel what that felt like, man. You've got to feel the pain of being in slavery. Yeah. You've got to feel the pain of being looked down upon, man. Having nothing. You're going to feel that, so-called white man. That's why you can see now with all these devils out here, you can see that guilt is hitting a lot of these devils, man. Yeah. When you go out and see them, that guilt, now because their world is ending, now they got that, they're trying to act all, humble with it and all that. Their guilt is, because your time is coming, man.
Time is up. But what does the scripture say also? Never trust thine enemy, man. You had that Drew Perez or whatever his name is, man. Right? He had to come out and say, I never really understood. Why? Because basically nowadays, if you don't say you're for Jake, guess what? You get blackballed, man.
Yeah.
So how many of them people are actually even genuine, man? That's why it goes back to the point we're making before about, look, man, why are you out there protesting with these Edomites, man?
Yeah, but you know what?
You're trying to ask, which at the end of the day, my point is this, man. Look, you're out there protesting. What are you going to achieve? Let's say you got all of your what you call everything that you wanted from Esau. Esau says, right, you want reparations? Cool, here's reparations. You want this? Cool, there's that. Cool, you want more people in power? Cool, cool. Scripture says, set them not by thee. One.
Yeah. Two, because he's gonna still find ways to fuck you up. He's got to go down. This is the way he's going down. By Yahushua, man.
Yeah. And you're just gonna continue in this wicked ass kingdom, which is the reason why you're getting shot up in the first place. Because you're wicked, man. 2/3 of the wicked of our people are wicked, man.
That's it.
Right, they're fucking wicked, man. They deserve everything, nigga.
That's why this is happening. That's why this is happening, man. This is judgment, because the Lord's using the 2/3 to get at Esau to get at them, to fulfill prophecy, man. Because at the end, all of them in America, the shores of America, only the elect is gonna be delivered from there. Everyone's just gonna get nuked, man.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, man.
This is
because that place is gonna get nuked. So it's all got a purpose, isn't it?
Yeah. That's it. This is Amos 9 and 10, man. It says, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not.
Yeah, like that George Floyd dude, whether it was real or set up, but they were saying that he was going there with fake cash or whatever.
Yeah.
He was doing some kind of fraud or whatever the case may be. Well, that dude didn't know he was an Israelite, man.
Yeah, well, they said he was on drugs.
He was on,
In the autopsy, they said he had drugs in his system.
There you go. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So, He
was doing porn and shit.
He was doing porn flicks, So he's a sinner, one of the sinners of the Lord's people, man. But he said all the sinners.
Tattoos all over his body.
Yeah, then brothers were showing he had a tattoo. He's an insider. Yeah, he's an insider. He had a tattoo of an eagle and all that.
The order eagle, yeah.
Yeah, so that dude was more than likely paid for, set up. But so what? You work for Esau, you paid and set up. You're working for these devils. You're doing the Most High's plan anyway. But you're still a sinner, man, because you don't know you're not following the true understanding of the Lord, man. Just read the Acts for all the sinners. Go on.
Do you want me to start up? I can start up if you want it.
No, just carry on where he was.
All the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us.
And that's what Jake say, man. But guess what? You know what's happening now? Esau is gearing up his weapons, man. Because Esau, right? He's gonna go for his Esau always draws for what at the end? His blessing. Mm-hmm. That's how Esau always wins, right? Has won over these years because he's got his blessing is the sword. Yeah. So now he's gonna go for that blessing, and the Lord's gonna allow him to, because he's the Most High sword, man. He's gonna go all out against you, Jakes, man. He's gonna have all kind of tanks rolling through. He's probably gonna have helicopters firing shots, small missiles coming off helicopters at you. It's gonna be crazy, man. Yeah. Because this is the last hurrah for Esau, so he's gonna go all out, man. But that's part of your judgment too. Mm-hmm. See, just as Esau's about to get judgment, 2/3 is gonna get judgment for disobeying the Lord too, man.
Oh yeah.
So this is beautiful. Everything that's happening, we love it because this is what we're waiting for. Because we know that we're one step closer to our goal, which is the kingdom, man.
Scripture says, "I will laugh at your calamity. I'll mock when your fear cometh." Right. So we're laughing at everything that's going on, man. I've got 2 precepts. Psalm 17:14. Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword.
That's right. And cast who down? The so-called white man. All right. And it says, deliver my soul from the wicked, which the wicked is these Edomites, which is thy sword, man. Because Esau is the sword of the Lord. The Lord uses Esau to punish us. Mm-hmm. That's why we're in the condition that we're in under these devils, because they were made to be the wicked and to punish us, man. But you see, he says he's the sword of the Lord, man, and Esau's very cunning. He's a cunning hunter. He knows how to shoot. Mm-hmm. He knows how to use his weapon, man. Strategically. So the Most High got him made like that. But we're gonna be delivered from these devils, man. The hopeful elect. We're gonna be delivered from out of their hand, man.
Yeah, he's at one with his blessing, right? Which soon enough we're gonna be at one with our blessing, man. We're in the kingdoms right now. We're just calling these, decrepit ass bodies, man. We're going to always sin. We're always going to fall short, right? But the Lord is gonna change us, man.
Yeah.
Right. It says Ezekiel 21:9, Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith Yahweh. Say a sword is sharpened and also furbished. And that word furbished goes into polish, man. And what are you doing when you're polishing a sword? Really, you're getting it, prepared and ready. Sharpening it and getting it, perfecting it. And that's the word I want. You're perfecting it. You're getting all intricate. You might have a scratch. Polish that, make it clean, right? He's perfecting his sword, man. Right? First, he comes up and says, "Oh, you Jake are the face of COVID now. Cool, bam." Now you got old Jake walking around with fucking stupid mask on their face, right?
Believing it, yeah.
Believing it. Well, you've seen this man's track record, and guess what? As soon as this vaccine becomes available, you go and get Jake getting the vaccine.
Run to it.
Go and run to it. Right? Go and get sick or whatever. And Esau might have it whereby there's a virus which just attacks Jake. Right? Only Jake be dropping dead from it or whatever, what have you. Right? Why? Because he is the sword of the Lord, man. Yeah, what Esau really fears is the brothers in the spirit, the truth, the brothers that know this truth, that teach this word. Yeah. That's what he really fears, that the Lord's going to come and destroy him. And he knows that the real threat to his kingdom is these words, man. Yeah. And the Israelite men established to teach it. Yeah. Which not these yokos with masks on and, Esau can sway them how he wants. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Just like how before, he had Jake thinking that they were invincible from the COVID. And then to them saying, "Oh man, we died from the COVID more," and then start listing reasons why.
They all believe it.
All believe in it, and then because really they're the ones that have allowed this to fester. Let's be real. If Esau wanted to take this out the news and make everyone forget, he would do it. He's got the power to do it, right? Because at the end of the day, the elites, as you're going into, they don't fucking care about no Black Lives Matter protest. They don't care. You can damage as much property you want. What they hate is when you're calling yourself an Israelite, right? Because all these who's speaking about it before, he's pushing that energy of I'm black. Look, man, we ain't black, man.
We're Israelites.
I cringe when I hear.
Yeah, it's cringing,
it's fucking
man.
Cringy, man.
You got white people, Black Lives Matters and all that. With Jake's Black Lives Matters and all this, with Jake's doing the same fucking thing. That's empty, man.
It's empty. And
we've been telling you for the longest, who you are, man. We're the Israelites, so-called Negroes and we're brown, man. We're different shades of brown, man. You love Esau's philosophies, man. Yeah. But it's okay, man, because you know what? We only care about the elect, man. The brothers that believe, man.
That's it.
You got these stupid Edomites with Jake, with them banners and all that. Black Lives Matters and all that. You see, it's fucking cringing, man.
Yeah, I got more.
It's a joke, man. Go on,
it is sharpened to do what? To make a sore slaughter. Right. So a lot of Jake is gonna have their bit. Jake's gonna get it in, but guess what? Esau's gonna get it in too, man. Right?
Yeah, he's gonna get it. He's gonna go hard, man. Esau's gonna go hard, man, because this is his last hurrah, man. Yeah. So he's gonna go real haywire, man.
That's it.
But then in Esau doing that, hey, the Lord's gonna make 2/3 of these Jakes go even more buck wild against him, man. So it's gonna be chaos, man.
That's it. Because we kind of hoping that Esau just does a mazza on these protesters, man.
Yeah,
just takes out like 100 of them with
the first wave, man.
Yeah. Just takes out like a whole bunch of them with a new weapon or something. Right, and then that's just gonna make Jake boil over, man.
Oh yeah, it's gonna make them just go like getting a different spirit, like
ape shit, right? Yeah. And then what like was saying, then you're gonna get the Mexican, and they be killing them Negroes' homes.
Yeah, the tribes are gonna get together, man. The tribes are gonna because they're gonna get together and go fight against this man.
Yeah.
On a carnal level,
Yeah.
But ultimately, what's going to happen to even though they're all going to fight and be killing each other and all that, ultimately, America's going to be destroyed anyway.
That's it.
It's going to get pelted with nukes, man.
Yeah. It is furbished that it make glitter. But should we then make mud? Right? And as we were speaking about yesterday, spirits had it whereby this happened before the sports came back, man. Right? Because once again, the football's coming back to the UK next week or the week after. There's a protest planned for the weekend. If the football was back already, they wouldn't be out there protesting.
If the Murph was open.
If the Murph was open, man. Right? But the Murph's is closed.
Yeah, because even with I'm sorry, can I mention this one point? Because even with all this and what's going on now, brother, the brothers have been teaching out there when all the Murph was already open, man. When all the Murph and all this was open in this society, brothers was out there week in, week out telling you this is coming, man. It's just crazy, man. But like the brother said, if it was open to Murph and that, the clubs and that, they wouldn't care about protesting, man. They can just be pacified with some alcohol in a club.
Yeah. That's it. And they'll be thinking about, man, let me know that, we're going to go for an hour to the protest.
Yeah, then go.
And we've got to make sure we're back in time for the clubs.
But this is beautiful what's going on, because the Most High's had it where everyone's been locked in their houses, can't go to work, frustrated about things, frustrated with the laws that's being passed. Now it's just accumulating, Now you've just seen the Most High had it where this Edomite, killed that Jake. So it just ignited this
powder keg.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Powder keg indeed. It says, and he hath given it to be furbished that it may be handled. This sword is sharpened and furbished to give it into who? The hand of the slayer. Right? Crying, how, son of man, for it shall be upon my people, and it shall be upon the princes of Israel. Terror by reason of the sword shall be upon my people. Smite therefore upon my thigh.
That's right, man. That's right. So the point is, Esau's got that weapon ready and sharpened to go, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we've been. The scriptures talk about. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, sound an alarm. But that's what we're doing, man. Until the Most High has it where we can't do this no more.
Yeah.
That's it. And then we wait we wait in the spirit for our Lord to, watch what's happening and to come deliver us, man. And don't take that mark of the beast, all these things. But Esau's got his weapons ready and sharpened, because remember, they've got to force people to start taking that chip too. And they couldn't do that by just snatching you out of your home, man.
Mm-hmm.
But forcibly by the military and all that, man. Taking you the concentration camps, you're taking that chip. That's how it's gonna happen, man. Things like that's gonna happen, man. Should we, we'll end it, yeah, after this one, because it's not gonna be a long video, and all that, but we'll end it on this precept here, so yeah, we'll end it. It's just gonna be a quick video, So this is Revelation 17 and 16. It says, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire." Do you wanna?
Yeah. So this is, and these 10 horns. So read that again, Babukasha.
It says, Revelation 17 and 16, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore,
Mm-hmm.
and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire."
Right. It's basically America's allies, right? Which make up the part of the beast, right? Because the beast represents Esau's power system, right? So America's allies, they're gonna be shooting off their weapons at her, man.
The NATO,
Yeah.
the EU, the NATO nations,
Yeah.
EU nations, Britain, France, Germany, Greece, everyone wants to blow that place up, man.
Yeah. They're going to send their weapons at her, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And which everyone who has weapons, you read Jeremiah the 50th chapter, it says, all ye that bend the bow. So all these different nations that have nuclear weaponry, they're going to shoot at America, man.
Yeah.
And is that the one where it says,
"For the Lord had put in their hearts to fulfill His will."
Oh, okay, we can read that, but it was It was another point, because in the other scriptures, right? Touch on this. It says why? Because for she hath sinned against the Lord.
Okay, you want me to find it?
That's the Jeremiah 50 or 49 or 50 version of it. But what would you call it? I mean, it's more or less point made.
Yes.
Right?
Go on.
It says they shall hate the whore, and they shall shall destroy her,
make her desolate,
naked.
Shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
Yeah, right. Why? Because she had sinned, man. And we read it in Revelation 18 and 5. Her sins of mine up unto heavens, man.
Yeah.
Right, brother. Posted a priest. Let me read it real quick. Numbers 35:33. "So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are. Right? For the blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed by the blood that is shed. But the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it." Right. So America's been built on blood.
And that's how you balance it out, man.
That's how you balance it out. And ultimately, the reason why the destruction is going to be the way it is because all of you Edomite nations have been built on blood.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was the British Edomite, the Portuguese Edomite,
Spanish
Edomite, Australian or French Edomite,
New Zealand.
Right? You built your kingdoms on blood, so the Most High is going to have to take this place out, in a way that fulfills that blood debt, man.
Yep.
Right.
That's why that the destruction of America is going to be a great sacrifice, man.
Yeah. Hey, they say what's that saying? The revolution shall be televised. The destruction shall be televised.
And we were going to see, the hopeful elect. We're going to be in the ships.
Yeah. A sea of glass.
When that destruction's about to take place, the hopeful elect, we are going to be beamed up and see it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. But that's the time we're in. We're in those that we're here, we're there or thereabouts, man.
Mm-hmm.
We're here, man. We're at the door of salvation.
That's it.
Yeah, man.
Knock, knock, knock.
Yeah. Hey, man. Ghana. Hey, you got any last words? Any script you wanted to bring? Anything else?
Yeah, look, man. We getting closer and closer. As the days go by. It seems that if this quiets down, then it's going to be something else,
Mm-hmm.
right? And because don't forget,
This is
the famines are still brewing,
Mm-hmm.
right? That was a big thing during this whole COVID thing. The famines, they're still brewing, right? So food shortages and the murder hornets and all of that sort of stuff. So don't forget, the scripture says in Matthew 24 that these are the beginning of sorrows. Nothing's happened yet. You still at these protests got chicks in their booty shorts. That's how you know nothing's happened yet, right? Because in that day, no chick is going to be wanting to walk around, for fear of being taken, man.
Right? And that's going to be it's going to be crazy, man.
It's going to be crazy.
This is the start of it. But it's lovely. We love what's happening because it's hey, man, it's the beginning of what we know is going to get worse, man.
That's it.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
That's
man. Kinda.
So the word for all you brothers watching, brothers on a common board.
The word I can.
Yeah.
Kinda. Yeah.
You got anything?
That was it, man. That was it.
Kind.
Yeah, man. Hey, with that, we say, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And Shalom to the brothers, man. Shalom. Hey, Tawada Akyam,